Welcome to Guided, your weekly sanctuary where we blend the wisdom of the Enneagram with the art of intentional living. I'm your host, Evie, and you're so welcome here. Guided is all about helping you, the modern woman, find your flow in a world that's often all hustle and no heart. Whether you're navigating a career pivot, diving into creative pursuits, or just figuring out how to take better care of yourself, Guided is here to support you. This podcast is like a weekly chat with a good friend, one who's passionate about making your life feel good. At Guided, we believe in living with intention, fostering emotional well-being, and finding joy in the everyday. We tackle the big stuff like overthinking, setting boundaries, and avoiding burnout, all while keeping it real and relatable. Think of this as your go-to spot for practical tips, soulful conversations, and a reminder to break free from the grind. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. Thank you for choosing to make Guided a part of your weekly ritual. If you're ready to step into a life of intention and empowerment, then hit that subscribe button and let's get started. Okay, hi, how are you? I hope that you're well. I am breaking some podcast rules today. I am filming this little intro the morning of this episode going live. Why am I doing that? Well, it's week 4. Today is episode 4 of the podcast coming out and being listened to. And I have been so blown away by the kind, encouraging reviews, comments, messages that I've had. So I thought I would say thank you. That means the world to me. I so appreciate you taking the time to leave a review or send the podcast to a friend or send me a message. It means the absolute world. Yeah, I was just excited and wanted to say thank you. So that is number 1. Number 2, a lot of the feedback is the podcasts are a bit short and you want more of me, which is just, yeah, wow, that's so cool. I feel so lucky that is the feedback and not please talk less. We want less of you. That's so good. The podcast will begin to grow in length and duration and detail as the weeks and the months go on. These first few episodes have been quite sweet and short, and that is simply because I didn't want to overwhelm. I was just getting to know who was listening. I was just getting to know you. So that is noted, and those changes will be made. And yeah, I appreciate that feedback and wanted to come on and chat to you about it in real time. Finally, I also wanted to invite you to my seasonal reset class. What the heck am I talking about? You might have heard me talk about it on last week's pod or the week before, maybe. My seasonal reset class follows on from my sold out meditation and journaling classes last year. So if you came to one of those and you were wondering when I was going to be releasing tickets for this year's seasonal classes, this is it. I've slightly changed the name, and there is only going to be one class this autumn. This is the class. It's online. Tickets are £30. It's on the 28th of October. If you can't make it live, a recording will be sent out. And this is really about being inspired by nature, being conscious and aware of the world that we're living in. And this, this class really makes sense if you're in autumn now, if you're in fall now. So if you are in a part of the world where the seasons are changing and the leaves are falling off the ground and all of nature is letting go. If you want to join in with what's going on around you, if you are ready to let go of behavior and self-sabotaging tendencies and other parts of you that are just getting in the way, that you're ready to release, that you're ready to let go of, this is the perfect way to do that. So the class will be a meditation and journaling class, but there'll be invitation for gentle movement. There's going to be a Q&A. It's going to be such a gorgeous place to connect with other people who are maybe in a similar part of life to you, wanting to release something. I absolutely can't wait. And I would love to invite you and connect with you there. So all the information for that is in the show notes. If you just scroll down, and we can find it on my website, of course. And if you have any questions about that, you can just send me a DM or an email. And yeah, we can chat about it. I hope you enjoy the rest of this podcast. Thank you for letting me jump in. And yeah, let me know if you've worked out, if you're in the feelings triad by the end of this podcast. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, bye. Hello and welcome back to Guided. I'm your host Evie, and today we're diving deep into 3 fascinating Enneagram types from the Heart Triad: Type 2, Type 3, and Type 4. So if you're part of the Heart Triad, or you love somebody that is, or you're right at the beginning of your Enneagram journey, this is going to be a fantastic episode to really get into the Heart Triad, understand what drives them, and what personal growth looks like for these types. But if you don't know which Enneagram type you are yet, why not take my free Enneagram quiz, a really great jumping off point for those beginning their Enneagram journey. You can find the link for the quiz in my show notes if you just scroll to the bottom, and you might want to pause this episode or jump into the quiz at the end, as the quiz takes about 8 minutes. Okay, let's jump into understanding the Heart Triad. The Heart Triad is also known as the Feeling Center, and it focuses on issues relating to identity and emotional responses. This group of people are driven by significant identity. So if I was in the Heart Triad, I might introduce myself as, "Hi, I'm Evie. I'm Jen's wife," or "I'm Beverly's daughter," or "I'm Jake's sister," or "I'm the founder of the Enneagram Guide," or "I'm Sophie's dog mum." Can you see how I'm providing significance to my identity through other people? These types primarily navigate their world through their emotions and their pursuit of personal significance. The Heart Triad consists of Type 2, 3, and 4. So these types are driven by their feelings and a need for affirmation. Remember, with the Enneagram, we always teach both the good and the bad, the light and the dark. So this could sound like I'm talking negatively about these types. I'm not. I'm simply providing information. And it's really good to remember at this point is perhaps don't attach good or bad to the information. Just allow the information to be before making any decisions about it. Why? Well, these types often engage with the world by seeking emotional connection and recognition. And each type within this triad handles feelings of shame in different ways. And this shame shapes their behavior and interactions. If we know that shame is going to be pretty loud in these conversations, potentially, maybe we've got a lot of 2s, 3s, and 4s listening. Notice where the shame comes in and starts telling a story about the information that I'm sharing. This is a really great way to notice if you're a 2, 3, or 4. Okay, let's dive into Type 2s. Type 2s are known as the helpers. They are super caring, generous, and people-oriented. They have a deep need to be loved and appreciated, and often go out of their way to support and nurture others. 2s derive their sense of worth from being needed by others, okay? So they are empathetic and attentive and always ready to lend a helping hand, but this can sometimes lead to them neglecting their own unappreciated if their efforts go unnoticed. So Type 2s are amazing at noticing people's needs and not so good at being able to share their own needs. In relationships, Type 2s are warm and affectionate, and they thrive on creating close and meaningful connections. However, Type 2s need to set healthy boundaries and ensure they're also taking care of their own well-being. And so for personal growth, I really think 2s should be focusing on self-care, and I am not meaning run a bubble bath and eat some ice cream. I'm meaning learning to recognize their intrinsic worth, independent of external validation, practicing self-compassion and setting boundaries. Spending time alone for a Type 2 is going to supercharge their personal growth. Getting to understand who they are as a person away from fulfilling somebody else's needs is the most important thing for a Type 2. And a really good question to ask yourself if you're a Type 2, and this is taken from Suzanne Stabile, who is a fantastic Enneagram teacher and author, is when you are providing help, looking after somebody, it's always important to ask, who asked me to do this? And if somebody asked for your support, that is amazing. That is so cool that you are able to fulfill that need for that person. But if nobody asked you, perhaps instead of providing that care and that attention to that person, you could instead gift yourself that time, that love, that thought. Just an idea. Okay, next let's discuss Type 3, the achiever. 3s are very ambitious, adaptable, and success-oriented, okay? So they are driven by a desire to be valued and admired for their accomplishments. And their accomplishments are often related to their work. So type 3s are highly motivated and excel in setting and then achieving those goals. And type 3s are very good at that, okay? They really do excel in both the setting and the achieving of the goals. They are often seen as role models. They embody the qualities of hard work and determination. However, their focus on success can oftentimes, lead to workaholism. And I'm not saying that lightly. I'm saying that as something that we should really consider if we've got a type 3 in our life or if we are a type 3 ourselves. There is a tendency to hide our true selves behind a facade of achievement if we are a type 3. And what this leads to is feeling really empty because we are not our work. As much as we would like that to be true, type 3s, we aren't. In relationships, 3s are supportive and encouraging, and they bring wonderful energy and drive to their partnerships. But to grow, 3s need to connect with their authentic selves and find value beyond their accomplishments, including in their relationships. And so personal growth for 3s involves embracing all of their vulnerability and all of their authenticity. And it's going to take time, which type 3s tend to not love, because usually more than able to learn something new and immediately start doing it at a very high level. We need to help type 3s practice mindfulness and self-reflection in order to connect to their true feelings and desires, because this is what's going to foster a deeper sense of self-worth type 3s are lacking. Finally, let's explore the type 4, the individualist. 4s are creative and introspective and emotionally deep. They are driven by a desire to find their unique identity and express their true selves. And why is that? Well, that's because type 4s often feel like there is something fundamentally missing inside of themselves that everybody else has. Type 4s have a rich and inner world, and they're often drawn to artistic or expressive pursuits. They want to show everybody all of this depth, and they have an ability to be authentic in a way that the rest of us can only really dream of. It's one of their biggest gifts. They seek to understand and embrace their complex emotions. They aren't afraid of them. Other Enneagram types are. However, this intense focus on their complex emotions, on trying to work out what's missing, can lead to feelings of melancholy or envy. And this is where the type 4 can trip. 4s are empathetic and passionate. They bring sensitivity, they bring depth to nearly all of their connections. However, they need to be careful not to get lost in their emotions and maintain a sense of balance. All of us need to learn how to balance our head, heart, and gut centers from the point of view of the Enneagram. But type 4s are so deep in their emotions, kind of pulling themselves out of these deep, deep waters of emotions can be really hard. But it's so worth it. For personal growth, focusing on cultivating self-acceptance and appreciating the present moment, rather than looking for what's missing, could you look for what's there instead? And there you have it, my quick deep dive into the Heart Triad, Enneagram types 2s, 3s, and 4s. Each type within the Heart Triad offers unique strengths and challenges, all centered around their emotional responses and pursuit of personal significance. So if this sounds like you might be an Enneagram 2, 3, or 4. Remember, understanding your Enneagram type is just the beginning. The real transformation can happen when you apply these insights to your everyday life. This is what can foster personal growth and deeper connections with those around you, deeper in your own Enneagram journey for an Enneagram Blueprint typing session, where we learn how your Enneagram type can break out of self-sabotaging behavior, grow in confidence, and leave procrastination behind. If you want to learn more, you can find the link in the show notes. If Guided the podcast resonated with you, why not share it on your socials or send it to your friends? And if you have a spare moment, I would love it if you could leave me a review. These small gestures are free and they're invaluable in helping me amplify the reach of Guided the podcast, connecting us with more empowered women who are eager to increase their well-being. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop with our latest episodes. By subscribing, you'll stay connected and receive a weekly dose of inspiration directly to your inbox. Thank you for being a part of our community, for showing up, and for your commitment to personal growth and self-discovery. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay curious, and keep exploring the depths of your own inner wisdom.